Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to CSSBattle Saturday Night Live. So who's online today on the live stream? Who's here? Come on, send me a quick message in the chat so that I know you are here. Sorry for starting the stream late today. I got occupied in something and got a bit late. But we are here and we are ready for the Saturday Night live stream. Who's here? Players? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Send me a hi. I think since we are already little late to the stream, maybe we can start with the daily targets today, and then when a few players have joined, we can do the versus in the second half of the stream. Let's say. Soham, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hi. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for stopping by. I suppose you are here for the first time. At least I'm seeing you for the first time on the chat. Welcome to the stream. Cool. Let's meanwhile see which daily target to tackle. We could do probably the one from yesterday. It was a sub 100 target, I believe. Hey, Mary's here. Hey, Mary. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming in. Sid is here. Hey, Sid. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I was saying the one from yesterday, that was a pretty easy target. Easy and as in not to reproduce, but also approaches wise, it had a very low character count. It was sub 100 for the top 10. We could do that one, or maybe the August 20, the one from August 20. That was pretty interesting. I think let's do the August 22 one, the yesterday's daily target. I like simple targets. And I also read a message on the Discord channel that probably all the approaches were different on this target. I'm not sure if it was this one or the one before August 22nd. Maybe this one. But yeah, let's probably do the August 22 one. Cool. Okay, so before diving into the top solutions and trying to reverse engineer them, let's see how we could create this with a trivial approach, with a straightforward approach, without getting into code golfing and all. So as I said, like it's a pretty easy target. I would probably draw two rectangles for the red bars each, one rectangle here. Let me use this. Yeah, so we could draw one rectangle here, we could draw the other red rectangle here, and this could be the third rectangle, and that should be it, right? The background is simple, it's white, you don't have to do anything. So just three rectangles positioned appropriately, and that should give us this thing. We could do away with these rectangles by creating a gradient instead. So starting from here, you start with white, have a red gradient, then a white one, then a red one, and a white one again. And this would give us this pattern. This doesn't have to be white, it can be transparent because the background itself is white already. So that gradient, and then you can simply have one element here with a border radius, and again that should give us. Hey Nagesh, welcome again to the stream. Thank you for coming in. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can think of right now to solve this target in the most simple manner. But yeah, that's it. Let's dive into the top solutions. So the top here is by Ilya, and that's just 91 characters, as there was 91 characters. So let's fire that up in the editor and see what's happening here. So before we try to reverse engineer, let's make it a little tidy. Let's unminify it, yeah. So there is this. Right, so this should be it. This is actually two box shadows. Let's place them in separate lines. Cool. So this is it. No elements, as you can see. We are relying on just the HTML and the body as the elements. And then there is a single rule. Of course, there's a nested rule, so you can say like one or two rules here. Let's start from the top. Let's comment out the individual declarations, and then we'll turn them on one by one. Okay, so let's start from the top. There's this first rule which applies on the universal selector. That means HTML and body both get this declarations applied. Let's start with the box shadow because that's more visual. Margin won't give us a sense of what's happening. So let's start from the box shadow, and let's get in the first box shadow. Cool. So the first box shadow here, we can see there is no offset applied on the shadow, as an X and Y offset both are 0. Even the blur is 0 on this, and all that is there in the shadow is a spread, a pretty big spread of 53Q in length, and the color is it's a weird color. If you notice, this color is not anywhere in the palette, right? It's not something from the palette, but we'll come to this later. Let's replace it with a blue so that we know what color is getting applied on the box on the shadow. So there is this one box shadow, but you don't see it anywhere in the preview because it's a spread. If you note this, it's a spread. That means it's gonna come out of our elements, out of the body, out of the HTML tag. And since HTML tag is just overlapping with the viewport, right? It's the complete viewport. So anything coming out of the HTML tag, you won't be able to see it. We won't be able to see it because it would get clipped by the viewport. So that's why we don't see it on the HTML tag. That makes sense. But I guess we should have seen it on the body tag at least, because the body, remember, it's by default 8 pixels inset from the HTML tag because of the margin, the default user agent margin. So at least on the body, we should have seen a blue spread, but we don't. Is it the, yeah, I think it's this, yeah. Because of the comma, it was an invalid syntax. It was a syntax error. So that's why box shadow was not working, but now you can see it. So there's a shadow on body, on HTML both, but what we are seeing right now, it's the shadow on the body tag. Cool, so there is this one shadow, and then there is one other underlying shadow. Remember, the latter ones show underneath, right? So we could see it the other way around as well. So there is this um, uh, second shadow, and it shows below the first one, and you can see it has just offset. It has a x offset of 0 and a y offset of -3 inches. There's no blur, there's no spread, and there's no color also, which means the default current color would get used, which would be black, right? That's the color value on any element by default. So black would be used for the shadow, and again, it applies to body and HTML both. And this is the thing that you're seeing here right now. Right? The shadow that is coming in, it's coming downwards. Sorry, it's coming upwards from HTML and body both. It's going upwards. So the one we are seeing right now, that's body's shadow right here, going upwards. Right? HTML's box shadow might be going upwards as well. So that's this the two shadows. If you turn them on, you would see the blue shadow and the black shadow, but the black shadow is underneath the first blue one, so that gets hidden. Body's blue shadow is basically hiding its black shadow and also HTML's shadow, whatever they are. So that's where the margin comes in. You can see the shadows hardly appear inside the viewport right now because the elements are so big. They're almost taking up the whole space on the viewport. But we can get this margin in, and then things start to show up more, right? So let's see what the margin is doing. Of course, like if you make the margin 0, 0, the body simply overlaps with the HTML, and that overlaps with the viewport, and so the shadows won't appear, right? Because the body is just taking up the whole viewport and all the box shadows are outside it, so that gets clipped. So that's why we want to bring things a little more inside, right, for things to appear. So that's why a little margin here on both HTML and body. So as I increase it a little bit, you can see things start to show up. Right now, let's fire up our DevTools and see what's happening here. So at this point, okay, so let's inspect this. So this is our HTML tag. It has, remember, the margin that we are applying, it's on the left and right side, the inline side. So 20 pixel margin on the HTML tag. That's what we see here. And then cascaded inside, the body would have again a margin of 20. So that's what is showing here, right? The black margins don't show right now because they are in the Y direction, and Y box shadow would get clipped even after the margin because the margin is on the left and right side. Cool. So the blue spread starts to show up a bit as you increase the margin more and more. And yeah, so I think it will like keep showing. But then this point comes where the body and the HTML, their blue spreads, they start to like separate out because of the increased margin, constantly increasing margin. So HTML is this right now. You can see the left and right spreads, which are these, right? These are HTML's spread, and then you have the body tag here, and this is body spread, which shows up in the inline direction for now, right? So we get these things as we increase the margin more and more. Interesting thing here. So at this point, we get these 4 lines, which are the inline spreads on both the elements. As you increase it further, you can see body is starting to collapse now, right? And this is uh, where the solution stops, right? It's 130, right? Yeah. So at this point, this is what we get. Um, the left one, the left bar, that is HTML's left side spread. So this thing, that's the left spread of HTML tag. Whereas the right thing, which is a fatter, a thicker bar, that's actually the spreads on the body, the left and right spread on the body. Combined together, right? Because body is doesn't have a width anymore. You can see the width is 0 because the margin has increased so much that it can't have any content box width. So width becomes 0 for body, and the two spreads just like merge into one another, not overlap, but they are like combined now into one another, and that's why you get a thicker bar, blue bar on the right side, right? Cool. So that's where we stop as far as the first rule is concerned on the universal selector on both HTML and body. And then what is left is this nested rule, which is again on the universal selector, which means something inside something, and that would apply to just the body. So this is essentially the rule uh, for the body tag, right? So first thing that we do is um, let's turn on border radius on the body tag. Okay, so this just puts a border radius on the body tag, right? And since it's border radius, we can assume it's gonna be this thing, right? Uh, the black thing, the black rectangle with the rounded corners. So that's what is being created probably here with the body tag. So we add the border radius, but since the body has collapsed its content box because of the increased margin, you don't see anything. Right? You can see the border, you can see the border radius as well because there is no width at all. So that's where margin comes in. You can see there is a huge margin on the top and bottom. So that is supposed to push the body from the top and bottom. It should decrease its height. No, I'm sorry, like it's not top. This is actually this thing, right? So there is a top. Let's maybe bring it one step back. So there is this top margin. There is a left and right margin here, and then a bottom margin as well. So there's a big top margin that should bring the body quite down on the page. It should push the body tag downwards. There is this negative X and Y margin, negative inline margin, that should pull the body on the left and right sides, thereby increasing its width a little bit. So right now it's 0. If you pull it 80 from the left, 80 from the right, probably should get 160 pixels of width because of this. And then there is negative bottom margin as well. Negative would pull it, so it should increase again the height of the body tag. So let's see. If we increase, like if we turn on the margin, this is what we get. Right? Let's play with the numbers here and see what's happening here. I'm specifically confused about the big top margin there. Like, why does 413 margin work here? But let's see. So this is the margin. Let's get it to smaller 0 numbers as before. So originally the margin that we were getting was 0 and 130, right? So basically 0 on the top, right? And 130 on the right. Bottom 0 and then 130 on the left. So this is what we had earlier, but the margin on the body changes to some other values, and those are exactly from the top. It should be 413 pixels. So as you increase the top margin, you can see body getting pushed downwards, right? Probably let's keep it here as 180 pixels on the top margin. Let's get the left and right fixed first. So these are not 130 anymore for the body. It's -80 on the left and -80 on the right. So you can see, like we discussed, the left and right negative margins basically pull the body from the left and right sides, thereby giving it some width, which is should be 160, I guess. So this is the body. Um, it shows 300 right now. Yeah, it's calculating the width along with the border. So if the border was to be removed, oh, it's still 300. Why is it 300? Without this, the body was zero width. But after this, it becomes. Or does it still have a border? No. The body is 300 pixels. Why? Oh. So if we remove the left and right again, oh, okay. So it was 130 earlier on the left and right side. So this is the body earlier with zero width. If we make the margins zero on the left and right side, this is what a body is. It becomes 140, yeah, 140 in size, right? Because just of the HTML margins, right? So this is 140 in size, and then you increase it by 160 by -80 and -80 on the left and right sides. So that basically gives us overall a 300 pixel width on the body, right? So this is where we get with the left and right margins, the body basically stretches out to complete viewport, and then we have the border radius, of course. And let's tweak the top margin now. This is supposed to reach to 413 pixels. So this is 413 right now, and the body is pretty at the bottom of the viewport, as in the viewport ends here, but it's somewhere here. You can see the body is somewhere here. That's what we get with a big top margin. But then there is a negative uh, margin at the bottom, right? So a negative bottom margin would further increase the height of the body tag. So if this is 0 and I start increasing, nothing happens. But as I start decreasing, it should be 163 as per the solution. It suddenly starts showing up with a big negative bottom margin. Why is that? So if we inspect the body, this is how it looks. It has a 50 pixel height now somehow, but why? I would have assumed the body to be somewhere here. Even with the negative margin, it would increase the height, but since there's a top margin of 413, it should be starting from here, right? That's what at least shows up. But it's somehow showing here, right? This is the body, but I would expect it to be here, somewhere here, or maybe much lower than that. Okay. If anyone has an idea like why this margin is working to show the body like this, just ping me in the chat. I'd love to know your thoughts here. Let's see again. Let's give in some additional stuff to the body so that we know what's happening. Let's give it a border of 1 pixel solid, right? Or maybe let's give it an outline so that the dimensions are not touched. Isn't it the box shadow? Ah, okay, I see. It's the box shadow. But even the box shadow, why should the box shadow be there? Okay, it's because of the -3" offset. Okay, you're seeing a huge offset with that box shadow. I get it now. Cool. I was assuming the black thing comes from the body's background, but it's not that. I forgot about the box shadow. This box shadow, which has a big 3" negative offset in the y direction, and that means if the body is somewhere here, it would have a 3" uh, offset for its shadow, right? -3" would basically take it upwards in the y direction, and that's where we get the box shadow. So, that's the whole reason. We try to with the top and bottom margins, we basically get the 50 pixel height for the body. That's how a body gets a 50 pixel height. At this point, if we were to inspect body, yeah, so you can see it's 300 by 50. So that's how body gets 50 pixel height. And then because the shadow, the box shadow, has to show up at the top because of the -y offset. That's what happens. We have the body somewhere here, and then at -3" offset, we see the shadow. And since the body has the border radius, its box shadow will have a border radius as well, right? So that's what happens. So yeah, so that's the whole thing. Just to recap, we have the body tag, we have the HTML tag, and they both get a box shadow. First of all, there's a blue box shadow. I mean, it's supposed to be red, but for now, like, we have just changed it to blue before we come to this value. So there's a blue spread on both the elements, but because of the right margin values, we are just able to see the left and right spread, right? Because the other two are for the HTML, they are outside the viewport, so they get clipped. And for the body itself is pushed uh, quite at the bottom, like outside the viewport, very down, uh, like too much down in the y direction, right? So body comes here because of the margins, and so its spread doesn't show, right? There would be a spread somewhere around the body here, but this spread doesn't show. And then there is a black offset. There's a black shadow in the -y offset. That means it would show up at the top, and that's how we see the black offset for the body tag, which basically creates the black rectangle. So that's the whole trick. Um, very neat solution. Like, even though there are no fancy tricks here, as in no complex syntaxes, conic gradients, and all those things. Even though there's nothing fancy, it uses a very creative approach. One would, like, just like we discussed the trivial solutions, we would have created this thing using body tag itself, but this is really neat. It's not the body tag. This itself is a box shadow of the body tag placed at the right position, body itself being somewhere here, right? And then again, the classic trick of having same visuals on both the elements, HTML and body both, but then you just want to use one of them, so you kind of get the other element, ignore the visuals. I'm talking about the blue spreads here. So the spread applies to all the four directions. We somehow get the bottom and top shadows to get clipped out of the viewport, so they get hidden, they don't affect us. And then the blue uh, spread around the body, that gets simply ignored because the body itself is out of the viewport. So though it applies to both the tags in all the four directions, it just finally shows up uh, for these two things, right? and just for the HTML and just on the left and right side. So that's a classic trick you get to see in a lot of code golfing solution. So pretty good solution, amazing one, creative approach there. Oops, what did I do? Cool. Let's see some other solutions if they happen to do the same thing. Varina's on second with 92. Oh, we missed one thing actually. If you see in the original solution, it uses a color value of E007, actually a James Bond color there. Instead of blue, it's actually hash E007, and that is a hex color with an opacity. So Ilya probably figured out that this particular red, it's a variant of red color. It could be created with opacity. So that means you could use the hex shorthand to create the red color, which is E00. It's not actually perfect red. That's also something to note. It's not F00, which would have been a perfect red. It's rather E00, which is a little less red. And then there's the opacity, which finally gets us a very close color to what we need, which is F 88889, right? That turns out to be the same or similar, very similar, close color, right? So that's the whole complete solution. And with this, Ilya has also managed to strip out two more characters because otherwise he would have used six characters for the color, but he uses just four because of the trick, the color trick, the opacity color trick. So saves two characters there. Vaina seems to be using the same color here, the one with opacity, but still is one character more. Not sure. He uses margin. Ilya uses margin and box shadow, and Varina's solution also has two box shadows. These are exactly same, but where is one character lost in Varina's solution? Margin also looks the same. It's the opposite values though. Minus 163 on the top and 413 at the bottom. Is that it? No, that's not the reason. Okay, I can't immediately spot where Varina lost one character compared to Ilya's solution. I think it's the margin. Or maybe not. It looks exactly same to me. Where's the difference? 0 minus 3 inch. Okay, it's same up till here. And there is this minus 163. Okay, yeah, that's the difference in the margin itself. So because Ilya has a positive value to start with, uh, he didn't have to use the extra minus in Varina's solution. So Varina's solution begins with a negative margin at the top, and so there is a negative symbol here. But then um, uh, that's extra because otherwise, if 163 was a bottom margin, uh, Varina could have used the space between 80 and 413 to get to replace the space with the negative symbol instead, right? Uh, but Verena had to use one more character for this negative thing. So that's the whole trick. He missed fixing the margin. What about the other solutions? They look different. For example, Jiraj is seemingly using some variables here. But essentially, like I think it's the same. It's just like the syntax is a little different for the same approach. Box shadow is the trick that everyone is using. Okay, Jiraj is not using box shadow. Um, Border is the trick here. Okay, a little bit different. Same with Bio. I think he's using border as well instead of box shadows. But yeah, essentially, like I think all the approaches are similar. the borders are getting border or box shadow is getting used to create the shape. Cool. Uh, nice solutions there. Okay, I think we'll do just one target today as well, since we anyway started late. We could get on to versus battles is if anyone is up for a versus battle. We could try that. Oh, by the way, last week or so, we launched a new feature wherein you could go to your settings. If you are a Plus member, you would have this Plus membership tab in your settings. And we have this new thing over there, which is themes, visual themes. And you could turn this new theme on, which is the Matrix theme, and you get this nice sci-fi Matrix-like theme on your CSS battle. Mary has a question. What is the IC unit in border radius 2 IC? Oh, I missed that actually. See, where was it? Yeah, it's in Juraj's solution. It's 1 IC. Interesting. Good spot there. CSS. Yeah, I've seen it for the first time too. In CSS, IN represent inches, but we asked about IC. Is it even a valid width? It should be because it's working. Let's try it out somewhere. So I'll create a div, and on the div, I'll give some width and a height and a background. I forgot. It has to be pixels. Okay. And let's try out. So this is how 1 inch looks like, and this is 1 IC. Okay, so IC is definitely working. Is this something new for which we don't have any documentation? Oh, my video stopped. It just happened. Video, what happened to you? It's working fine. Not sure what happened. On. Yeah, I think it should work now. Yep, working back. Cool. So okay, IC definitely works, but is it some new unit that we don't have documentation for yet? It didn't come up in my Google search. That's weird. There's not even a single article that talks about the IC unit. Can we get some hint from the inspector itself? Okay, 1 IC turns out to be 16 pixels, which is similar to 1 rem. Okay. Why would you have... Hmm. Maybe let's ask Claude if it can answer that. I see a unit being used in CSS. Let's increase the font size a bit. Called IC. What's that? What do you think? Will you get an answer? It's a unit in CSS. It's a relatively new unit that represents the ideographic character width. Specifically, it's designed as the advanced measure width of the water character in the element's font. What? Water character? What is even that? Is it like specifically about a Japanese character? I believe it's a kanji character from Japanese. Yeah, it's Japanese, Korean, Chinese. Um, but yeah, it's the width of that character. Just like you have CH as the width of zero character, this relates to this character. In the elements font or 1 EM if that character isn't available in the font. Okay. So I think for us, the default font won't have this character. So it defaults to 1 EM for us for that solution specifically. This unit is particularly useful for this monospace context and so on. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Weird unit, but yeah, that's there. But for our purposes, turns out to be just 1 EM equal to 1 EM, and that's why we get the computed value as 16 pixel. Fallbacks to 1 EM. That's interesting. That's the first unit I've seen which has a fallback value as far as I can remember. Cool, interesting. But I wonder why Juraj used that unit. Okay, inch would have been much bigger. But isn't that what is required? 1 inch? Would 1 inch have worked here? Yeah, it would have worked. I think it was just used for fun then, just to see if IC works or not. Cool. Uh, let's get back to versus. Let's see if anyone is up for a quick versus battle. We'll do maybe just one or two in the interest of time, and then we'll call it off. Cool. I'll create a public room. What just happened to my background music? I was playing some time back. Cool. Creating a room. It's a public room. You should see it on the home page. Anyone is free to join. Who's gonna join? Who's ready to fight? Do a one-on-one? Let's do a medium. Or let's keep it easy. I don't think like we'll be able to tackle a medium one in the time we want to do it. I want to keep it max 4 minutes. Time attack. Cool. So you should be seeing a public versus room on the homepage players. If anyone wants to do a one-on-one duel with me. Okay, it's set in the room. Hey, cool. He's ready, and so am I. Okay, he has a rating of 1200. That means either it's the first versus battle by set, or he has managed to keep it at
Three,
1200
1,
after a few battles.
play.
Cool. Okay, it's easy, though a lot of elements there. Okay, let's go ahead with absolute positionings. For 4 elements, one for the center one. Let's call it center. I'll have few more for let's say one for the left thing and then one for the right thing. Let's get on to it. This is supposed to be okay, and it's supposed to be let's make everything absolute. What next? Should be bigger, not so much. 150 looks okay. Is it a square? Is it a rectangle? We'll see. Let's try to bring it in center. I want to use 50% here. I don't want to get onto specific values. So I just transform it, or rather translate it with minus 50% in both directions. And that brings our div to the center. The dimensions are not correct. 60. Oh, sorry. We want to tweak this one. 70, 80. No, 70. 70 looks right. I think it's 170 by 170 square. Yeah. So we have the center one. Let's do a quick summit and then get on to the left and right ones in the meantime. So these are supposed to be rectangles again with some rotation. Let's try to figure out what their width is. Height doesn't matter because they are anyways overlapping. They are merged into the center one. So let's focus on the width. Should be lesser than 170. I would go with something like 90. 90. And they have a rotation minus 45. I think so. Looks about right. Oops. 120. And then left should be 100. 20, 30, 40. Let's get it a little down. Is the angle minus 45 degree? I don't think so. Looks more. 60. That looks fine. 70, 80. Say it has the left rotated rectangle at the right place, I guess. This should be more. 100. Okay. And the height could be reduced now to just 100. But that's bad. 150, 160. No, let's keep it 150 and then tweak the positions instead. That looks okay. Let's copy the whole thing. Get it for our right element, which should be 60, and then we just want to tweak this thing. 220. Let's do a submit. And then let's quickly get in our last thing. Whoa, ended the time. I didn't submit. You got 26.3. Why? I didn't have the background. Damn, how could I forget? How can I forget not putting a background the first thing? Wow, a good fight. It was a nice target. Good fight. We were very close, 98.7. Could have probably won if there was a little bit more time. Cool, let's do one more and then we'll call it off. I lost 2 rating points there. Let's try to get those points back. Okay, one more versus battle created. I almost had the second box place too. That was fun. Yeah, definitely. It was fun. Cool. Again, 4 minutes one. Let's do it easy. I think that target should have been a medium target. I need to tweak the easy difficulty a bit. And of course, the hard one. That is still not hard in most cases. I need to fix that. We should have it in public this week, in the coming week, Monday or Tuesday probably. As soon as I get the difficulties tweaked a bit, we should be ready to launch versus. Okay, waiting for 1 more minute if anyone joins and wants to do a battle, a one-on-one with me. By the way, like which theme would you want to see next in the themes feature that we launched, the plus themes? So let me know, maybe in the comments on this live stream, in the chat, or the Discord channel, Twitter, wherever you are. Just let us know which theme would you want to see next for the plus themes feature. We have a few in the pipeline already. There's the neon, retro neon theme that looks pretty great. That's gonna launch very soon too. And a few more in the pipeline. No one joining, I guess. No one wants to do a versus battle? Okay. Uh, just few more seconds to go, and then we'll cut off. Cool. So I guess then that this would be it for. Oh, Mary's in. Poik Poik. Nice name there. Poik Poik. Cool. Poik Poik is ready. I suppose it's Mary. I remember this avatar. So uh, thanks for joining in, Mary. Let's do a quick 4-minute battle. I am ready as well. And let's see what do we get.
Three, two,
2,
one.
1, and it's time
Play.
to fight. What do we have? What? Really? This is going to be a fun one. A very easy and a fun one. What do I do? What do I do? Let's do top 50%. Let's do left 50%, and then let's do translate really quick. Minus 50%, minus 50%. The background needs to be this. Oh, it's white. And let's get the width height tweaked. But it's not white. I should. Okay, it's the other way around. The body is black. Cool. This is supposed to be somewhere around 300, I guess. It's to be 200. Why is it not? Okay, I was missing the. That's too much. 300 is again too much. 270. Is that it? No. Height is perfect. The width is supposed to be a little less. 260. No, still no. 250. Yeah, that's it. And I should hopefully get 100% here. But did I not submit? Yes, I won the battle. Pretty simple target after a long time. Mary, was the battle working for you? I didn't see any preview changes here. Not sure if things were working or not on your end. Let me know if you encountered some kind of bug. Cool. Interesting battles today. Thanks, Seth, and thanks, Mary, for joining in. Fun daily target as well. Was good to reverse engineer the creative approaches by Ilya. Uh, and yeah, learned a one learned a thing or two there. Cool. This would be it. We would be launching versus battles next week, along with few more themes in the plus themes. I didn't manage to come in. What? Okay, that's weird. I'll probably connect with you over DM on Discord. Try to figure out what happened there. But yeah, we'll be launching a few more plus themes, a few more things, a few more configuration in the editor. Uh, and yeah, I'll see you next week then, next Saturday, and same time, same place. Do subscribe to the channel if you have not already done, so that you get notified about the future streams. And I'll see you on Saturday, next Saturday. See you. Thanks for joining in. Bye bye.